All right. All right.
browse up and down. Okay. Good morning, everyone, once again. Okay, let's do a recap of what we did last week. Okay, we said introduction to HTML. Said that HTML is hypertext markup language. Okay, so it's the standard the markup language that is used for creating web pages. Are you getting me? About let's say 95% of all the web pages you are seeing are all created using HTML. Are you following? So another thing there is HTML has a structure. And this structure, if you understand how this structure works, you will really get it anytime you are working with HTML. And if you look at what we have on our screen, on the dark part of it, you will see the first line of the code there. The first line of the code that says doc type HTML. Are you following? So this thing, anywhere you see this code, know that that page is written in HTML5. We have HTML4 and HTML5. Okay? HTML5 is the latest one. It's the latest one. So anytime you see this doc type, either in small letter or in capital letter, it can be in small letter or in capital letter. Then the next thing there we need to look at is the opening tag or the opening structural this thing of HTML. You can see that we have HTML. We have an element called HTML here. And if you look at it very well, you will find out that this HTML that opened here, closed here as the last one. Hello? You find out that it's opened and it's closed at the last, as the last line of code or as the last tag or element. Are you following? So in other words, this page is being written in HTML fully. Okay? And within it, you can see the next tag called head. You can see the head tag. And from the head tag, you can see what we call the meta tags. And these tags called meta tags are where you declare some of the things necessary for HTML. Now, if I should project the code we did last week, let me project it for us to see. Okay, you can see it, right? Now you can see that we have the head here. And the next thing we have there is what? The meta. And then we have the viewpoint. The meta for the viewpoint. And then we have the title. Now this title here, like I said, if you could remember, if you open it in the browser, you find out that this tag is the one written here. It appears here. The title doesn't appear on the web page. Here now is the web page. Here is called the title bar. Okay? Here is called the web page and here is the title bar. Any websites usually have a title bar or a title this thing on each of the bars once you open. Okay, so here is the title bar and there is a title there, just like the name goes, in case of necessity. Then the next thing that we want to look at is the tag called style. Now this style, we have to write this style in here. This is the CSS code for this page we are building. It started with the tag called style here, and it ended with the tag also called what? So invariably, any tag you are using to open any okay, so invariably any tag that opens would likely have a close, or would likely be closed. And there is also some tags that are called open tags. Those tags don't usually have closing, and this meta tag is one of them. Okay, this meta tag is one of them. Another one is BR, which is for break. Then we have HR. We have which other one? What? H2. H what? 2. No, those ones are heading tags. They usually have closing. So we have tags that we call open tags. And these open tags doesn't need to be closed. Okay? Those open tags doesn't need to be closed. One of them is this that we have here. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, let me bring something here. Now, from there we declared the element called body. Now, if we should look at our course material once again, our course material from the side of introduction to CSS, we said that we have selector, we have property, and then we have a value. Are you following? So a selector, the property, and then the value. Now, we said that CSS selectors. Now, what are selectors in a layman understanding? When we talk about selector is what we use to reference or to get to where we are going to. Okay? For instance, we have what we call element selectors. And these element selectors, you can see them P, H1 to 6, div, etc. Section, main, you can name them. Those are called element selector. The work of this element selector is that once you call them, any CSS you are writing will affect all of them. For instance, if I want to write a CSS that should cover the whole web page, just like what we have in our code here, we did a code that should touch everybody that is within this body tag. I don't know if you are following. This body tag that is being declared here, we want to write a CSS that will affect anything you are writing inside here, inside this body tag. Remember that body started here and body closed here. So we are writing everything we are doing in between the body. So the body tag or the body element here is housing our code. Is housing the main web page. So whatever thing we have as the web page, whatever thing we have as a web page here, the body is the one responsible for everything you are seeing. The good example there is, if you look at the color of this place and the color of this place, they are not the same. Likewise here. So it simply means that we gave the body a color, and the color we gave the body is the one touching these places, these whole places. And then we do a tag or an element, this thing again, where we had to change this list. You can see this list where we had to change the color of the background. And here is the code. This is the font family that we are using. This is the height in between, the line height. This is the margin. This is the pattern of each one. And here is that general color, background color. How do I know? If we should change this thing to red. Okay, let's use dark red. And let's review. Refresh. Do you see anything? Good. So that simply means that as far as we declare this and open this tag, you see the opening and the closing here. Here is the closing and here is the opening. Are you following? So it simply means that whatever thing we write within this place will affect this body. And as far as this body now is the one housing every code we have, simply means that it will play on all of them, just like what we have here now. Are you getting me? So let's go back. So the next one, so it simply means that this is the selector here. This is the property. These ones you see we are declaring here are the properties. This is the property, property, property. And here is the value you are giving to it. I don't know if that explanation is clearer now. It's clearer now, right? Okay. Okay, what else do I need to explain? I've explained from H1 to H6 and the work. H1 is greater than H2. H2 is greater than H3. H3 is greater than H4. H4 is greater than H5. And H5 is greater than H6. So in other words, the more you count the number, the lesser it becomes. Do you get now? The more you count the numbers, the lesser they appear. Okay? So now the P is used for paragraphs. The A is used for links. When you are linking, call the A and follow it up with the href. Okay? The href attribute. Then the image. Then this is the list. And then the division or the sectioning. I think with this explanation is a bit clearer now. If you follow this course material now, you will understand what we did there. Now for the A, you can see how A is being declared. Do you see how it's being declared here? So we have the A, and then we have what? Lower Shanomi. Sorry for that. I'm coming. So we have the linking tag there, which is called the A tag, and then we have the attribute. And this attribute has a value. And the value you give to it is the link, the actual link where you want it to go to. And I showed us this thing on our code here. This is this thing. If I want us to go to the page now, this website, click on it, it goes to the, it's loading up. Now you can see it has gone to that website. Are you following? The website we linked to it. So that is just typically how some of these things work. Okay? Any question? No question. Okay, let's now move forward. You can run this code on your own. Okay? This example, please try to read code sometime. It will help you. When you see a code, don't shy away from it. Read it. Even if you don't understand what it means, read it. Then if you have your system with you, you can try running that code. Okay? Please, you are browsing. Stop browsing and focus. Okay, let's now go down to the third part of it, which says HTML and CSS in where? In WordPress. So you say that WordPress allows you to use HTML and CSS within your posts and pages, giving you more control over your content what? Appearance. And using HTML in WordPress, to use HTML in WordPress, okay, the first thing there, you can use it in what? Block editor. You can add it. That's when you want to do custom HTML block. This block is not block on page now. For instance, here now is a block. It can be called a section as well. But in WordPress, they call it block. Okay? So we have in classic editor. Either you use it in block editor or in classic editor. You can switch to anyone. Okay? So now you cannot as well add custom CSS. You go to appearance, customize. Now in your customize section, you will see additional what? Additional CSS. Okay. Let me show us something with this. So you will see additional CSS. And in that additional CSS, you can write your custom CSS in that place. Now you see the reason why we have much HTML and CSS, right? You've seen the reason. So now, these are the projects that we ought to attend to. We said the first one there is create what? HTML file. With the following, it should have a header name with your name. About who? Skill section. Contact solution. Who did this assignment? Okay, 1. Who else did the assignment? 2. Who else? Who else? Who else did the assignment? Okay, good. 3. No one else did the assignment. Okay, no one else did the assignment. I will inspect this assignment at the end of this class. Now the second one there says what? Style the page using CSS. Did you style your page? Who used CSS to style their page? Okay, 1. Who else? Okay, 2. So you used CSS to style your page, and you added color, right? Okay, style the layout. You can use Flexbox for more advanced students. Add hover effects to links. I don't know if you get to these 2. You didn't? Okay, that's fine. So today let's go over to what we have, which is the third lesson. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Yes, I said we'll do that at the end. So we said choosing a WordPress theme. Okay, selecting the right theme is crucial for your website what? And what? Functionality. Is crucial for your website appearance and functionality. In other words, anything you are doing has its own kind of theme. You know what theme is? Who knows what theme is? If you know what theme is, let me see your hand, please. Theme. It's not theme for when they are doing program in church. Theme. Good. The appearance. Especially the appearance, okay? So that is what we have to talk about, or what we have to say when it comes to theme. The appearance, the functionality, the way it is being modeled, the what else? So these three things are basically the main things when it comes to WordPress theme. So we said that selecting the right theme is crucial for your website's appearance and functional. And under it we have understanding what. Now, if you are very observant all through this lesson, if you are very observant, you will notice something. And that thing you will notice is almost all our lesson you will see understanding. What this thing means is that these lessons are targeted more of you understanding how these things work. Because what you don't understand, you cannot explain. What you don't understand, you can't use. Okay? So it's basically pointing more of you understanding what these things are. I don't know if you're getting me. So that is it. So we say here, understanding WordPress theme or themes. Now, themes control the look and the feel of your what? Please follow me. It controls the look and feel of your WordPress website. So invariably, the way your WordPress theme looks to your users and how it feels determines if your user will always come to your website or not. Hello? It determines if they will be visiting your website or not. If you give them bad look and they are feeling bad about your website, it takes only the grace for them to come or for them to frequent your website. So in other words, you giving a good this thing matters. Choosing a good theme matters. Theme, you can buy themes too. You can build theme on your own too. Okay? You can build your own theme on WordPress. That's when you go into more of WordPress development, core WordPress development. You can build your theme. You can build your own plugins and use. You can do those things on your own. Okay, the second one there says they can be customized to fit your. So you can customize the builders or those who create the theme. They will create it in a way that they think it should it should be, or in a pattern it should follow. But you yourself can actually determine if you want it to be this way or that way. Okay? So you can determine on your own if you want it to be this way or that way. Then the next thing that we say, teams can be what? Free or premium. Like what I said before now, you can buy teams. When you hear premium, premium means it's paid now, right? So when you hear premium, it's paid. So you can buy teams, or you can, at the same time, use the free ones. We have free teams. We have free teams all over the internet. And at the same time, when trying to download the teams from some sources, always consider or be mindful of viruses. Okay? Be mindful of viruses, so nothing happens to you when you are trying to use something. Okay. The next one there, we say what? Exploring the what? Repository. So now I'm trying to log in into our that thing we created that day. So I'm going to log in so that who else remember that's our URL? Who remembered our URL that day that we were doing that thing? Okay, you people don't remember. You didn't. You remembered? What was this thing? Okay, let's close up this. No. Just like, okay, that thing you are asking now relates to what we are doing here now. Okay? So when you look at this, web page now, this is a free theme. Okay? So now we're going to go into customization now. Let's go over to the dashboard. So this is typically how WordPress dashboard looks like. Okay? I thought I walked us through this before now. And it's still in our notes. Please kindly go home and go through it. So based on the lesson we have today, we want to look at the theme words. Now, we need to navigate to where? Appearance. And from appearance, we navigate to where? So we need to, this is the appearance. And from this appearance, we're going to navigate to where? Click on Teams. So what we want to achieve now is for us to look at how this theme repository work, and how you can add or select or search. So this is the theme we are using. Are you getting? Now, when you are using a theme, when the theme has been activated on your site, you will see customize. Here will be written customize. But when the theme is not the one you are using, look at what it will be. You will have here and what? So this life review, it helps you to review the team without changing the team you are using already. Are you getting me? That life review will enable you to look at how the team appears. For instance, let's assume I want to use this team now. I'll just click on life review. It loads up and it should show me how that team is. So if I think I like it, I will now go back and do what? Activate. Are you following? Now at the same time, you can add a new team. You see it. This is also, there's something here. Click on add a new team. And it's loading the WordPress repository. Now these are different teams. Now, I think this team appeared in our, this thing. It's appeared there. So here now we have different teams. And mind you that you choose a team based on what you are doing. I cannot choose a team meant for blogging and I will use it to create a church website or a personal website or a portfolio website. Are you following now? So you choose a team based on what you want to use them for. Like this, now this is good. The name there is what? Central what? News. So if let's assume I want to do something like blogging. This team now is good. It's cool for it. Okay? So I can decide to preview it or install it. Now another thing there is the first place we first view is meant for the teams that you already have within your account. Are you following? The teams you already have within your account. The first place before we clicked on add new team. You remember we clicked on add new team. That place we saw like 3 teams there. Those teams are already within in our accounts. We have them within our own account. Now, these teams we are seeing now are fetching directly from WordPress server. These teams you are seeing now, they are fetching directly from WordPress server. These teams, they are endless. In other words, they are many. They are too much. They are many. The more you scroll, the more they reload. You can see. The more they load up, the more you scroll. Are you getting? Good. So, okay, let me assume I need this. Let me install this. Installed. Now, once you install a team from this end, it automatically appears on the other side. Okay? Now, if it appears that side, it will now be showing you live preview and what? And activate. Good, you are following. It will now be showing you live preview and activate. Now, there's something else I need to show us. Okay, here is done for filtering. Here is for filtering. Let's assume I want to create for blog. I will just type blog. Once you type blog, all the themes that has to do with blog will start popping up. Like you can see. Are you following? All the themes that has to do with blog or blogging will start coming out. Now, if I want to do something like sports, will I say you like football too much? So you can see all the team that relates to sports. You can see this one even have boots there. Are you following? All the team that relates to sports will start coming up. So that is how typically this place work. So it gives you based on what you search. Now you can at the same time upload. You can at the same time upload your team. Now you can see where it says what? Now, if I have my team offline, I can just choose. I don't have any team there. So I can just choose. I can just choose. I can choose my team and then do what? Upload it. Okay? And if I upload it, I will now click on install now. It will install for me. Okay? So let's go over to team. Look at that team I did what? And now you see live preview and what? Okay, let's go over to what we have in our course material. So we've touched this place. Now the next place there it says selecting and doing what? So we have already touched here now. Are you following? Are you following? Okay. To install, click on what? And to activate, you click on activate. Now customizing what? Now using the WordPress customize, the customizer allows you to make changes to your themes and preview them in real time. In other words, the more you are making your changes, the more you are previewing. You are seeing how they are. Now let's go over to our destiny and customize our. Now I want to build a website for myself. Okay, I have to now activate this theme. Activate. Is loading. Has been activated. Okay, let me close it up there. And then I have to. Okay, you see visit site here. Simply means open it so that you'll be seeing what you are doing. Now you see that that team, you see how the team patterned everything for me. Are you following? You see how the team patterned everything for me. So automatically, the sectionings, these are the sections. This place now. Okay, this is the testimonial section, or as well the review section. Okay, we have the features section, and then we have the hero section. Here is the hero section. Now hero, when you hear hero, it has to do with the first section of a web page, mostly used in home pages. Okay, the home pages, you see the hero section, the carousel. Okay, good. So now let's go over to the customizer. We want to visit the customizer now. And for us to go to the customizer, we have to click on where? Customize. We have to click on customize. Now it loads up. Let me check those online, please, and know if they are having any. Okay. Let's continue. Now, when you look at this is this thing we have, and we're going to customize. Now, you look at here, you have what? Navigation. When we talk about the navigation, it has to do with this place, this section. Okay? It has to do with this section. And we have the styles. We have the pages, the templates, and the what? The patterns. So let's go to the navigation. It's giving us a warning before we start editing. Okay, we don't have any other this thing here. If we had another, or what is it called? We should have arranged it here. We can rename this from simple page or from navigation to something else. You can rename this as well, or you can remove it. Okay, you can go to the page itself. Now there's another thing I need to emphasize on. Always pay attention to information while using WordPress. In fact, generally, the reason for you to pay attention is that some of the things that might seem challenging, WordPress will give you heads up before giving you the full view. Something like here now. Are you getting me? So you look at. Are you seeing something? So it is giving us some heads up before we begin our editing. So this is just the page we have, which is called the simple page. And here now we can decide to rename it. And decide to rename it. And decide to call it SAP page. And decide to call it SAP page. And here we can decide to edit our informations. You can also as well decide to add more informations. Are you following? And if you want to edit the template itself, these places are called blocks. This thing you are seeing now, they are called blocks, okay? They are all called blocks. And you can see that it's giving us the words typography. Zoomed it much. I think this is better, just that is a bit not visible. You can see, right? Now, there's something again I need you to mark. On a web page or any web page, you usually have a header. And you see where the header is. Follow this. Now we have the words. And this title has to do with the title of this page now. Are you following? We have the content, which has to do with the general content here. Now this content can be anything. You can decide to add even videos there, depending on what you want. Are you following? You can decide to edit it. You can even decide to delete. Okay? You can decide to delete. You see delete here. You see edit as what? Let me show you something now. Now look at this thing is being done inside what? P. Paragraph what? Tag. Are you following? So that is one of the reason why we had to touch HTML. Introduction to HTML and CSS. Are you getting now? Good. Now, okay, quotes and other things. The next thing there is what? The website should have a footer. We can have a big footer or just a little footer, just like here. Are you getting? Just like here. Okay, there is a site I did that okay. questions for them yesterday. They needed us to add. Are you following? So the hero section, and we have a the carousel or the hero. Though carousel normally slides. Those ones you see that used to slide. I don't know if you've seen a website that normally slide. Okay, good. Now we have the feature section, the testimonial section, the members, which is the team section, the plan section, okay, the call to action. Now, I think I talked about call to action before now. So this is the call to action. The call to action is where you ask your visitors to take action. Contact us. Get in touch. Register now. You get all those kind of things. Purchase now. Okay, and here is where you showcase your latest articles or news or whatever. Here too can be called the words call to action, and then the footer. That is how this thing too followed. Here now, I added a section here where I showcased their informations. Now this is a footer. Do you see how, or the pattern of this footer? Are you getting? So a web page should have a footer. Should have a footer. And here is our initial. So that is typically how it rolls. Now, we say that for us to customize, the site identity has to do with the logo, the site title, the what? Okay, let's go over. Okay, this is the title. We have already done the title, which is here. Right? Click on edit. Here is the title. We can decide to change the title if we want. Okay? But we're not going to change. Let's leave it like that. Here we can change our navigation. Now this navigation, we have the home. Now that home, we can decide to change the title of the home. We can decide to change. Now here said link. I wish we can see it clearly. I don't know. Can we see it clearly? Okay. Here say home, about, services, blog, and contact, right? So we can decide to edit this and add whatever thing we want to add. Or should we be editing and be refreshing? Okay. Let's edit that home. let's say, okay, let's do home page. Sorry. Navigation, home. Home page. You can now do save. Always do what? Always save. You can save. Saving, that's saved. Okay, let's go and refresh here. Did you see anything there? Home what? Home page. Now, if you want someone who now there's something again I need to point at. The home page of a website, the link that should be there should always, as far as it's called home page, should always be the home page link, and the home page link should be just the first place you see if you visit a website. Are you following? For instance, if I give you a website called okay, for instance, this website we did here, okay, so I just entered the URL and it landed me on the home page. Are you following? So this home page remains the home page of this place. Now, this place can be about services and what have you. But the rule there is that the home page should be, once they click on the home page, it takes them back to the home page where they visited initially. Are you getting? So for the purpose of this our training, the home page still remains the home page. And for it to remain the home page, what you need to do is for you to come over to here. I think we can add the link here. If you have a link, but because it is our home page, we need to leave it that way. Now you can add description. You can add the description for your home page. Now the description, when you look at it, say that the description will be what? In where? Good. This thing I just added now, this random test, let's save it up. Save. Save. Refresh. It has refreshed. Did you see the description there? No, it's not there now. It's not there. But when you take your cursor to that place, you should see it. So the description you added here will be displayed in this page. It should be displayed where? In the current, if the current team supports it. So this is now under what? Probability. So because this team doesn't support it, this team now we are using doesn't support it. So that's why I'm hovering on it. It should be when I hover on it, it should show. Are you getting? So it should show when I hover on it. So that's how the description for menus work on navigation. So they can have attributes. They can have other stuffs as the case may be. Okay. The same thing applies to every other one. The about. Now the about should go to, the link should be about. The link should be about. Yes, you can do about us. Now you don't put space while writing links. It's either you use underscore or hyphen. So but I'm doing about only. Let's save it up. Now the services, we're going to do services too. Okay. So your links should always begin with small letter. It should always begin with small letter. Save it up. Blog. Go over to blog. It should be what? Blog. What do you say? Yes, now. What do you want to put before? You want to put blog, you put news. You can still do that. Okay? But you must put something that tallies with where you are referring people to. This is navigation. It helps people to be able to navigate through your website. Are you getting me now? Good. Now, the attributes is being added, just like what they say. They say additional what? To what? Good. So if you want to add something like this link stands for so and so thing, you add it there. Are you getting? So that's what the attribute does. So we save it up. The next one there is contacts. Contacts remains what? And you do what? Now I think we need to now review. Okay, let's see. Okay, the outline here is just like a guide. Are you following? The outline here is just like a guide. Now you see that this thing is reloading. So the reason why the thing reloaded is that it's needed to show us the some. Now you can add more menus here. Can add more menus here. When you click here, you choose button. What do you say? You can create your own menu now. You must choose, you must choose, you must choose. This thing you are choosing here helps you to know what you are doing. Now, since we are creating a menu, the menu we are creating should be called what? Should be called what? We have page link and we have custom link there. Between the two, should be called what? Or button. What should we be called? Say something, please. It should be called custom link, people of God. So now you have to type your URL. Let's say I want to create a link called login. You can decide to add okay. Sorry. Okay, this is the custom link. Okay, sorry, we added it twice. Here is our custom link. You see the name there. So now that custom link, we need to add the text, which is the name. And we need to call it what? Good. Login. And then we need to call the URL what? Login. Can call it sign up. So the next thing there is you need to save. The next thing there is that you need to save, and then let's refresh. So it's loading up. So we've been able to look at the site title. Okay, it's remaining the color. Now this what? Typography, it has to do with the typos. Like the sizes of your, what is it called? It has to do with those tests you need to add. The layout option, we have done the menu, right? Okay. We've done the homepage settings too. We haven't done it. Then the widget. Okay, let's look at what we were refreshing. Which one were we refreshing? Okay. I think this was the one we refreshed. Which one did we refresh? Is this one that we refreshed, people of God? Is this one? Now, look. What we have here now, watch. This. Look at this place. Be looking at this place. Are you following? Now, when I hover on this thing, you see that link there changes. We'll be stopping in the next 15 minutes. You see that the link there changes. The reason why these links are changing is because of that, what is it called, we did here. Like here that we added what? About. Now, if we want to make it this link to go to, let's say, Google, what we need to go and do is to go and get google.com link. We carry google.com link, we'll copy it, come here and paste it. Okay, let's paste. This is my cursor. You paste. Are you following? Now you can now say here, go to Google. Go to Google. Are you seeing as some renaming is changing here? Are you following? Save. Save up. Come over to here and refresh. As it's refreshing, okay, where else do we need to touch? The coloring. Or before 12:30. Before 12:30. So it's done refreshing. Now you see go to Google, right? So I can now comfortably go to Google. If I click on it, it takes me to Google. Are you seeing anything? So this is how this linking of a thing works. What we put there is what they will get. Are you following? So any question so far? Any question so far? We'll begin that in the next class. Mark it on your notes. So we do coloring, typo, layout settings, and widgets in our next class, which you can still see them from here. So any questions so far? You have to log in into your admin now. You have to log in into your admin. It's from your admin that you log in. During the installation period, we were able to do some settings before doing the installation where we put both the administrator's password and username and email. Have you forgotten? Check your notes. It's there. What do you say? You are not going to WordPress to log in anywhere. Check your notes. This URL is not WordPress. This URL you are having, you see here, is Dimas servers.top. That is the URL you are seeing here. I've said this thing time without number. You are not going to WordPress to do anything. WordPress has nothing to do with you there. I told us the difference between the premium version of WordPress and then the open source version. Yes or no? So why are you asking that question now? Check your notes for better clarification. Which other question? Good. Now, I don't know why some of us find it difficult to understand what we have in that place. You already have XAMPP in your system, yes or no? Now, for you to begin, you need to start your XAMPP first. And for you to start your XAMPP, if you can see what they did there, you can see there's something has already been started. That's why you are seeing stop instead of start. So this thing is to tell you can do the configuration from here. If you need to do any configuration, you need to do it from there. There is a software I'm running that is stopping my XAMPP from starting. And I don't think if I can be able to reset that now. It's not allowing my XAMPP to start. So now, look up here. Once you start up your XAMPP, the next thing or the next step there is to get localhost. Just paste this thing in your browser. Paste localhost in your browser and click on enter. It will load up XAMPP's default page. Or you can use this IP address. Okay? And it will show you this thing now that you are seeing. This thing you are seeing here. Once it shows you this, it simply means that you started your XAMPP server successfully. The next thing you now have to do is to go to your folder. This folder you need to go to is the htdos folder. Who knows about htdos folder here? If you have located it on your own, let me see your hand. You've located it, so you are following the lesson, right? Good. So you go to the htdos folder. Let me go to mine. Now, before that, for you to locate your XAMPP folder, you need to go to this PC, and then you see this first one, the local disk. Click on it, it opens. Then you will see XAMPP here. Click on it, it opens. Now, you have to check for htdos. I can't see it clearly, please. Yeah, it opens. Now, once it opens, you have to create a folder. Take note of this. You have to create a folder first. Now, your folder can answer any name. It can bear any name. Then you now open this folder. Now, inside this folder is where you're going to do your WordPress installation. Are you following? Now, you download your WordPress, copy the zip file into this place. Are you following? Copy your zip file into this place. Once you copy your zip file into this place, you now go over to your browser, which is the next step. I've created a folder. Now go over to your browser now and enter, look at, watch. You see the IP/demo, which is what? The folder name. Are you getting now? Which is the folder name. Now, let's assume I have a XAMPP running now, and I have unpacked my XAMPP files into that folder. It will automatically show me welcome to WordPress. That's what it will show me. Now the next thing there is now installing what? The WordPress proper. You go to wordpress.org, not .com. Look at it here. Go to that place and download the zip file. If you download the zip file, you extract it. You see it. You can see it, right? You extract it into that your demo folder. Demo folder. Then after that, you go to your phpMyAdmin, which is where controls your database. If you are using XAMPP, it controls your database. Go to phpMyAdmin and create your what? Your database. Now, for you to go to phpMyAdmin, you need to go to that same local host or that same URL, that same IP. Sorry. You need to go to that same IP. What is going on? Okay. You need to go to the same IP, which is what? /phpMyAdmin. Now, in your XAMPP folder, there's a folder called phpMyAdmin. Please, if you don't know what you are doing, don't go and tamper it. Okay? So you don't mess up your installation, your XAMPP installation. Are you getting me? Good. So go to phpMyAdmin and then you create a database. You create a database. You see create. Enter the name and create. You can set the passwords here. So you give it permission or the privileges. Okay? And after that, boom, you now go over to your localhost / the name of the folder. Then you will see install WordPress. Rename what? Config sample to and update the what? Now, in most cases, when you are doing your installation, sometimes you find out that it already has this thing, this particular one now. Just go ahead and use it. Okay? So, in case if it doesn't, or in case if you mess up this file, just open this one, copy everything here and paste inside here. Are you following? Paste inside here and then do the configuration. Is it clear now? What is not clear there? We are stopping in the next 4 minutes. The process. That's the note you have with you is already well explained. There is no skipping in that note you are seeing there. Okay, let me see if I can locate the WordPress. I think we downloaded WordPress that day. Is that it? Who is there? What's the name there? I'm looking for WordPress. I think we downloaded WordPress that day. Where? This first one now. Good. Let me open it for you to see. Now this is it here. We're going to extract it into a folder. Okay? So that you will let's extract it to a folder. Start packing your bag. So here are the files. Are you following? Here are the files. Now, if you look clearly here, I don't think if there is that WordPress, that normal config. Are you following? The normal config is not there. It's not there when you look at it very well here. This is what? Comment. This is what? Look for This one, uncle. Yes. This one now. Do we have normal WP config? No. Okay, good. Since you don't have normal WP config, you have to create it. Now, sometimes you don't need to create it sometime. Once we are running this thing, WordPress will automatically create it by itself. Are you getting? But in a situation whereby it didn't, you create it by yourself. Are you following? So it creates it for you automatically. Basically, it should create automatically on its own. For instance, if you are running it online, if you are running it using a domain and a hosting, it creates on itself, on its own, by itself. Is it clearer now? So it creates by itself, and when you are not doing that installation, when you are doing this installation, it's now, anything you enter here, any details you are entering here and submitting, is updating that WP config. If you open WP config, you will see those things you enter here. Are you getting? So that's how it works. It's not something that is that complicated. So I think this one is where you set your site title. I think you understood here. So that is where we draw the curtain for today. Thank you for joining today's class. Do have a lovely week, days. Please don't shut down your system. Yes, go ahead.